What's up, everybody? It's your boy DevNets45 back for week 17 DFS. Getting on my GPP and cash plays for the week. Doing this a little early this morning because me and my son will be heading out to Lambeau Field to watch the Packer Viking game in 0-degree weather, just below 0 weather. So pretty excited, but it's going to be a cold one towards the end of the season. That's going to happen in Lambeau, so outdoors, here we are. So let me just get this shared out real quick. For those who want to join, aren't getting notos, well, no. 1 second. All right, a little early. Don't know how many people will actually be joining me here for the live. Probably catch it afterwards, but that is okay. What you're looking at here is, what up, Tom T? Good morning, buddy. Cheers, my man. Happy 2022. We're through one day. Tyler, what up, brother? It's good to see you here in the lives, or at least chatting, man. Good to see you. Terry P, what up, man? I'm doing a special. Platos, happy New Year's, my brother. Hope everything's good with you, my guy. Happy 2022. Saucy, what's going on? DJ B, wow, man, we're getting a lot of people up in here. DJ, I gotta give you a little bluey. Tyler, I gotta give you a bluey. You guys haven't been in the chat for a while. Give me 1 second here. All my peeps, once you become a part, you've been around the community long enough, I'm giving it to everybody these days. Nobody should be better than anyone else or have more power unless you're a troll or somebody. So appreciate all you guys. Right up, what I have on the screen right now, this is actually SaberSim's whatchamacallit, optimizer. So this is what SaberSim has. Now on DraftKings, you can't optimize anything without selecting 2 players, and you can't do that with any optimizer. It's a draft line, if it's a DraftKings rule that they have. So basically, who I locked in was Montgomery, and who was it? That lock. Montgomery and maybe, it was Waddle. Montgomery and Waddle, because I think Waddle's in a good spot. And we're going to go game by game like we normally do. I'm just showing you this right up front. Now, notice Stafford. I'm not super huge on Stafford this week. I will have a couple lineups with him. I think a lot of people are going to veer away from him because of his crap game last week against my Vikes. But I'm going to tell you something. He is going up against the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are the worst defensive team against the pass. They have given up the most receiving yards to receivers this season. So just think about that. Stafford is going to want to get back in the groove. He's going to want to get back into the wing of things to get ready for playoffs. They're going to want to be hitting on all cylinders. So I wouldn't shy away from Stafford. I haven't heard much talk about him this week. I think some people are off because of last week. He didn't forget how to play football, right? He knows how to throw the ball. He's had many great games this season. He's had many great games throughout his career. He's passed for a ton of yards. Tom T's sipping his cup of coffee over there, about to spit it out because he's a Lions fan. He hasn't won anything big, and that's true. So we got to see what he can do come playoff time. See if he's going to bust again, if he has a better defense with him, or what happens. This is on FanDuel. So FanDuel, I don't lock anyone in. I don't have to optimize. They're going back to Joe Burrow. Look at, projected to be under 5% owned. Do you think he continues his amazing run against KC? I know KC's defense has played much better these past probably 3 or 4 weeks now, but you're probably going to get him well under 10%. Whether this is close or not on what he's going to be owned, they're stacking him with Chase, Higgins, Ronald Jones, Montgomery, which we'll talk about all these guys game by game, plays I'm on, Tyreek Hill, Zach Ertz, Amir Abdul, and Chicago Bears. Believe it or not, I love the Chicago Bears today. I think my man Balls is actually going to that game as well. This is a very low point total. We'll get into it more as we go. But, man, I love Bears defense this week. They are a little high priced at 4,800, but they're going against the awful Jets. And it's like a 36-point total. So 36, 36 and a half. But again, we'll get into it a little bit more as we go game by game. Guys, last week was amazing. If I would have had the Burrow lineups that I had, if I would have had, if Tyreek Hill, and again, Tyreek Hill is going to be another guy that people are not going to go to because people go off of how they played previously. Football is much different than baseball. Baseball players actually, it's a crapshoot, right? The plus EV is so off the wall in baseball. But so many guys, like in baseball, when they get in a groove hitting the ball, it doesn't matter who they're going up against. It doesn't matter who the pitcher is. When they're in a groove, they're in a groove, right? They stay consistent. They stay hot until they don't get hot anymore. In football, that's not really the case. They're going to have a bad game here or there. It just happens, and that's just how it is. But if they're great players, don't short yourself. Don't veer away from playing them or going back to them, because that's the week after they play bad is a spot in football where you're going to get them much lower owned. Now, Burrows, I'm surprised Burrow is so low owned against KC. I know their defense has stepped up, but their defense still isn't like the best in the league. And Burrows, like we talked about on the Playmaker podcast this past Monday, the Bengals are a very sneaky AFC team right now going into the playoffs. You guys don't even realize, but they're like number 3 in the NFL in the AFC. Very quietly, everybody's talking about the Bills. Everybody's talking about the Chiefs. Everybody's talking about the Patriots, right? The Colts even. The Bengals aren't even talked about. And they're sitting there, 9-3, 10-3, or whatever it is. So, man, I don't know, man. That's a team that could get sneaky, that could be pretty dang good here going into the playoffs. So, let me get the lineups up, and we'll start going game by game here. Give me a second. Just pull one up here real quick. DraftKings want to open, and we'll get into it. I appreciate all you guys being here early, man. Means a lot. I didn't think I'd see many in the lives. I figured a lot of you guys would watch this after the fact. Paul, what up, buddy? Good to see you, man. You're going to have a blast tonight. I've always wanted. I know, Cuetos, dude. It's like one thing I wanted to check off my bucket list. And I started this morning when I went out to get my drink. I'm just recording clips. I'm going to record clips of the road trip. Me and my son having little conversations, etc. at the game. The whole 9 yards, guys. And then I'm going to send all the clips to my video editor that we have now for edited videos. And that'll probably drop sometime next week. Like middle or end of the week next week. So, very excited. It's going to be crazy. Minus 35. What's the spread on Michigan-Georgia game? Should have been. Right. 9 a.m. here. I forget you're ahead, Cuetos, an hour. Lambeau will be fun. Better take your thermal undies. Yep. So, yeah, check the plays. Check this out. I got all this stuff packed up. We each got 2 different face mask things. Full cover face masks. Got our thermal underwear. Long john. Gloves. These crazy heat wave gloves. Pack of hand warmers and toe warmers, so we'll be good. We'll be set. We'll be ready to roll. Yeah, I know. It's actually going to be about 15, 20 degrees warmer there throughout the whole day and night than it is here. It's minus 14 here. I want to say it's like 0 or... Let me see what it is in Green Bay right now. I've been checking on the weather. I know, everybody's here for football, or most are. So it's 8 degrees right now in Lambeau, and it's minus 14 here in Minnesota. So it's actually, as we head, gonna be warmer, which is gonna be amazing. So, all right, let's start with FanDuel. We'll go game by game again. Week 17, the playoff picture is forming more and more and more. My Vikings will be out without Kirk Cousins. Not a big deal. I need Dalvin Cook to have a big week as I'm in the championship anyway for season long. So we got Miami at the Titans. This is a 40-point total. Titans are favored by 3.5. I actually don't mind Miami's defense here. Again, I talked about it already. The Bears are probably my top defense, my favorite defense that I prefer out of any defense this week. But I don't mind going to Miami. The only guy I'm really going to be on in this game, myself personally, is going to be Waddle. I love Waddle. The guy is just, dude, this guy is just becoming a absolute stud in front of our eyes. And he's had, he's dealing with different quarterbacks throughout the year. I mean, just look at this. Not to be a game log whore, what did I call it? Like looking at their game logs, but it's a good way to show you when I'm talking to how great this guy is becoming. So the last 4 weeks, against the Jets, 16.6 points. Against Carolina, 24.2. Against the Giants, 13.5. Against New Orleans, the Saints, 20.2. He's going up against Tennessee. Pretty tight defense, pretty good defense. But, man, against the pass, they're not really that great. 26. He's in a good spot. A dangerous, risky GPP play would be throwing in somebody like Tua, running a Tua with Waddle. If you did a Tua with Waddle, it's going to be super low owned. Nobody's going to be on Tua this week. I don't like it. I'm just throwing out my suggestions. I'm going to let you guys know anyone that is a possibility or I feel is a possibility. In reality, when you're playing GPPs or putting GPP lineups together, anybody's in play. But there's guys that are in much better spots and guys with high risk that could give you high upside. And I think Tua could possibly, against a very tough Tennessee team this week, possibly could give it to you. But there's much better spots, much better options. That's pretty much where I'm going to be. I'm not a fan of really anyone else here. Let's move on. Giants at the Bears. Again, I love Chicago's defense here. 36.5 point total. Bears favored by 6.5 points. I'm taking Bears defense all day here. I'm actually also big on the running back for Chicago, Mr. David Montgomery at 7,200. We'll have to check his DraftKings price. I don't recall what it is off the top of my head. What's up, Terry? Jack, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year, man. Hope everyone's good. Are you Rapids Big 4 game? My mom said, wow, that's crazy. Minus 35, 32. So yeah, it's gonna be like just at about 0, I think, at like nighttime. So shouldn't be too bad. My first UI, I have a simple 2-drink rule. Anything more, the vehicle says. Yeah, and I typically, honestly, Terry, I don't think you'll even catch me having 1 drink and driving anywhere anymore, even though you're fine to. If I'm gonna have anything, because it's hard for me when I start drinking, like to just say I'm gonna have a drink if I go somewhere and I'm hanging out or I'm seeing a bunch of people, because you start talking, that 1 drink goes down pretty quick, and you're just like, man. So, but David Montgomery, that is a guy that I love. Not on Barkley, man. People continue to try to play Barkley, and he just disappoints. You're almost better off playing Booker or somebody than Barkley. If Tony was in, maybe. Allen Robinson is back for the Bears as well. Money Mooney you could look at. But I think this is just a really run-heavy game. And I think that Montgomery is your best spot here, and that's really about it. Pretty much staying away. Again, remember, guys, I've been telling you guys, try to minimize your player pool. Your player pool meaning, the amount of quarterbacks that you're on, the amount of running backs, the amount of receivers, tight ends. In each category, each position, try to minimize it to like 4 or 5 max per position, and then build your lineups around that. Maybe throw a sneaky, cheap value play in here or there. But try to throw in those values in your player pool as well, and then build around that. Jacksonville against the Patriots. Pats defense would be another defense you could obviously look at here against Jacksonville. There's not going to be a ton that I'm going to love in this game. James Robinson, they lost, obviously, beginning of the week last week. We were on Robinson. Luckily, I didn't have him in a ton of my lineups. But if you did, you probably got hurt by that. Mac Jones. Look at Mac Jones' numbers so far for his rookie season. 301 completions, 461 attempts, 3,313 yards, 18 TDs, 12 interceptions, a 90.2 quarterback rating. Trevor Lawrence is 319 for 543. 3,225 yards, 9 TDs, 14 interceptions, and 70.6. Dude, Mac Jones blew Lawrence out of the water. And Lawrence actually threw for like about 80 more passes, and Jones got him for about 70 more yards and doubled his TD ratio, or his TDs, and 2 less interceptions, guys. Mac Jones is a real deal. Probably not going to be heavy on him today. Not a spot that I love, right? Jacoby Myers, you could look at. He continues to develop and be good with Mac Jones growing and getting better and better each and every week in the NFL. This is a game I'm going to like. Kansas City at Cincinnati, or at the Bengals. Patty Mahomes, you can always go to Patty Mahomes, right? You can always play Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is playable in every single week. I'm heavier on, I don't mind Tyreek Hill, like I kind of talked about before. I don't mind Joe Burrow. I actually like him a lot. If I go to Burrow, I'm probably running Chase and Higgins. A guy I like on the other side of the ball for KC, though, is Darrell Williams. With Clyde Edwards-Helaire out, this guy, I think, is in a good little spot here. Tough, rough rush defense, but he's going to get some receptions from out of the backfield, right? But I think that if they open this up, they get a big enough lead, he's going to be getting some touches. 6,200. It's hard to find a lot of value at running back this week. This is kind of what your value looks like. Between this and Amir Abdullah, this is about what your value is at that just around 6K, 6,200 price tag. So think about that. I can vouch for that. Jeff and I hit up a Twins game. He had 1, had 2, and I agree that 2. Oh, man, that was insane, bro. Still a great time. We were down in the outfield, like first row. Dude, it was insane. We were talking to Eddie Rosario. That was when he was on the Indians. We were talking to Eddie Rosario when he came out in the outfield. It was a good time. We were trying to get kids baseballs, so we'd be like yelling for them, for like the kids would come down. There was a kid that came down between every inning. We were trying to get a ball for him. So, I have Terry Lowe. I'm guessing 20, 30, but not more. Well, I was 26-year-old one night, couldn't find a ride. Called my dad at 3 a.m. He came and got me. No, that's not embarrassing, man. That's called being responsible, and that's called saving you and other people's possible lives. So, very smart. Burrows, Higgins, Chase, like I said, I like. Tyreek Hill's another guy that I like. Again, people are not going to go to these plays because they didn't do good last week. Tyreek Hill screwed me in making a shit ton of money. If he would have went off, if I would have got literally like 6 points or 10 points from him, more than what he got, I would have been in probably the big money side. So just remember that. Travis Kelce, you can always go with. If you're playing Mahomes, I wouldn't just pay up at tight end and not have the quarterback with it if I'm going there this week. If I'm paying up, just to let you guys know. All right. Tampa Bay at the Jets. This could be a sneaky. I wouldn't say it's sneaky, but I just think people aren't really going to be looking to this game for Brady at quarterback. I think people are going to be looking at like Antonio Brown. We got to get news on him yet. He's still questionable. He better be playing. I have him in my championship. Questionable Sunday's game against practice Saturday, and bearing a setback is expected to play. So he's expected to play per Adam Scheffler. So I would say just lock him in. If news comes up, change him. Have a way out. He's 8,500. He's priced way up. Now his price, remember, we've been getting this guy at like 6,000, 6,500, 7,000 last week. Now he's at 8,500. He should have been this price all season when he's been in. We've been getting him at such a discount. It's ridiculous. And I've been preaching him every single week he's been in. Tom Brady. And why is that? Because he is Tom Brady's, I'm just going to be a broken record here and say it again. He's Tom Brady's favorite receiver since coming to Tampa Bay. By far. Ronald Jones is another option here. If you don't want to go the Brady route, you could plug in Jones. Honestly, this may be even a week where you could plug in with such the spread. You could plug in a Ronald Jones and an Antonio Brown, and I wouldn't hate it. Right? Remember, I'm not usually a big guy of playing running back and receiver together. I think here you can do that. I think right here, this is a game that you could possibly look to do that. And you could get that upside from both sides, from the running back and from the receiver, right? Gronkowski is another interesting play as well at Tampa Bay. So if you were going Tampa Bay and you were playing Brady, I would go Brady, Antonio Brown, and Gronk. I would stack them all up, right? And then on the Jets side, there is a guy that I do not mind that's become very consistent and become a part of their offense for a little value right here. Braxton Berrios, right? In between, last week he had 6 targets, 5 receptions, 37 yards. The week before that against Miami, he only had 1 reception. He got it 26 yards. But he got a rushing TD, I think. And then 10 targets, 6 receptions, 52 yards. He's kind of became a part of that offense. So again, plays I like. Crowder is doubtful, so that helps him that much more. Elijah Moore is out. So Berrios is kind of the guy there, guys. So think about that. That's a good spot. You don't even have to play a Tampa Bay stack to be on him. You could play him in another build. It doesn't have to be a run back play either. So Braxton Berrios, circle him as a great value play today. Even though it's Tampa, I don't care. He's going to be the main part of their offense besides Michael Carter and whoever else they decide to put in the backfield running the ball. Still cheaper on DK. Yeah, I mean, DK prices are going to obviously, in a lot of cases, be cheaper, but it's harder to build over there. Some of the other stuff had a huge kick. Yeah, that's what it was, the kick return TD. But he's been finding other ways in the end zone as well. So they utilize him kind of out of the backfield sometimes too. He's one of those like a Deebo Samuel, but not as big, right? Doesn't have that same strength. So Atlanta versus Buffalo. This right here, let me get the spread on this game. Atlanta-Buffalo is going to be Buffalo favored by 14.5. It's a 45-point total. Atlanta's just absolutely terrible, right? This is a good GPP play right here. Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. You could look to Knox. You could look to our boy Beasley, right? Beasley's way down here, $5,600. Sanders is questionable. Gabriel Davis is another guy. McKenzie. These guys are like your very high, sneaky, high risk, very sneaky, high risk plays, right? He had 2 TDs last week. Davis did. That doesn't mean he's going to repeat that, though, right? Like, how often does Gabriel Davis have a 2-touchdown game? How often does Gabriel Davis have 1 touchdown, right? So these are the types of things we need to think about when we're looking at this. Again, it's a good sneaky play. There's no question about it. It's just, is it going to capitalize? Do you think the boom bust, the probability of it happening is going to pay off more times than not? That's what you have to ask yourself. So again, Josh Allen is the guy I'm on. Cordell Patterson would be the only person I'd really look to. Kyle Pitts, maybe. Probably not, though. Not against Buffalo. Not liking it in Buffalo. Las Vegas Raiders at the Colts. Jonathan Taylor, you're going to pay that price, but he is in a smash spot as he's been smashing all year. So at 10K, you can get Taylor. I love it. He's on the radar. Hunter Renfrow has been the dude in Las Vegas since he's still on. Waller's still out. You could look to someone like Josh Jacobs if you wanted to. Michael Pittman is probably my highest cash, one of my highest cash play option receivers for cash lineups. So love Pittman as well. I think that's about the extent of it. Zay Jones has been kind of sneaky for Las Vegas. I mean, at the price tag, he's probably like 3-something or 4K on DraftKings too. I mean, look at these targets. You get that in DraftKings, the full 1 point per reception. That's even better, right? So another place to look for value, Foster is a possibility at tight end at 5,200, right? Peyton Barber is just too risky with Jacobs. They don't give him the ball enough. Philadelphia at Washington. Here's another. Hilton is starting to get some love again in Indy. So, yeah, you can look there at Knox has been a goal. Yeah, Cueto's, that is one of Josh Allen's favorite go-to targets inside the red zone. Guarantee, yeah, 100% it is. One of the best targets he has. So for sure. You got me, but you were big winning with yours. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jalen Hurts, possibility of 2 rush touchdowns as he has almost every single week. If he does that for you, if he gets those rush touchdowns, he puts up numbers like this. 28 points, 29 points. If he doesn't get in the end zone, he doesn't get any rush touchdowns, but he has a decent day, he's going to get you this, right? That's kind of an equivalent. This one was a 3-touchdown rush week, 30.78. But obviously, Mr. Jalen Hurts, you can look to. Devontae Smith's kind of been one of his go-to guys, right? Goddard, 5,800. Probably one of my favorite tight end plays this week. And again, people are going to look back at last week, right? That's what they're going to do. 3.8 points, 4 targets, 2 receptions. You guys, I don't know if you guys have the red zone or you watch the ticket or what you watch, or if you're watching this game. But he legit was wide open inside the red zone, and Hurts totally missed him. Tried to throw it into a bunch of traffic, and it got knocked away on like 3rd or goal or 4th and goal. He was wide open. They replayed it. He was on the far side, upside of the field when you're watching on the TV. He went in, he ran like a little curl, whatever, and he was standing there, like going wide open. Nobody around him. So if Hurts would have saw him, it would have been an easy touchdown if Hurts knew how to throw it to him 10 yards, right? Right to his hands. That would have been a touchdown. That would have gave him another 6. So now we're looking at almost 10 points. I love going right back to him this week. Again, a lot of people are going to veer away from him because of that. But do people realize the opportunities that were? Like last week, there was another guy that I was on, and there was one catch or one throw that was like right to his hands, basically, and it went off his hands and he dropped it in the end zone. And then there was like another target to him that should have been a touchdown. If those things actually happened, those guys would have been absolute smash plays that we're talking about. So when they drop passes, when they drop balls, people, if they haven't seen or watched the game, they don't realize that. People don't realize that Goddard should have had that touchdown right there. He was wide open, and Hurts wasn't being like mangly rushed, right? So it wouldn't have been hard for him to get the ball to him. Watkins, Adam Humphries, Ricky Seals-Jones, some guys you can go down and kind of dig for if you want to stretch. We touched on this a little bit on the Rams side. So the Rams versus Baltimore. Again, guys, let me repeat this for all you guys. The Baltimore Ravens defense is the worst in the league at giving up receiving yards. The worst in the league, or one of the worst in the league. Up top. So Cooper Kupp, as he is every week, is in a smash spot. You're gonna pay the price for him. It's not gonna be cheap. 10.2K. Matthew Stafford is another guy that I would look to that people aren't gonna go to because of this. And even the week before wasn't that great. Right? I think this is a 300-plus yard pass day today against Baltimore. I think this is a pending weather. We might have to get some reports on weather because this game will be outside. If it's cold, it doesn't matter. If it's too windy, like to the point where it's like crazy, like 50-degree winds, 60-degree winds, something silly like that, which I don't know if that's the case, that may play a little part. If it's 10, 20, 15, I'm not worried about it. Don't care, again, like we've talked before in the past about that. So Kupp, Stafford, right? We can look to someone like Beckham Jr. as well. He's starting to be a little bit more involved. I think he's getting to see a little more looks. Van Jefferson, 6 targets, only 1 reception, guys. Van Jefferson had 6 targets last week. You wouldn't even know that without looking at the game log or looking at what the stats were. He had 1.1 points. So if you just looked at the points, you'd be like, man, Jefferson just fell off last week. Well, he had 6 targets. I don't know how many of these he dropped. I didn't see all the highlights on every Jefferson play. But if he had caught 4 or 5 more of these, say he got 5 yards per, it's looking a lot better at the price tag he was at probably last week, right? Freeman, Bateman. Bateman's always an option here. He's starting to get more involved as well. The rookie from U of M, Minnesota, Ski Uma, shout out. Houston, San Francisco. My favorite cash quarterback this week by far is going to be Trey Lance. I actually picked up Trey Lance in my season-long fantasy league that I am in the championship on, my big money league. I'm debating on if I should play Lance in that or if I should stay with Stafford. I talked to one of my buddies that's a bartender. I stopped by and had dinner at my restaurant spot before I go and break Thursday nights. And when I went, I was talking to him and I was like telling him how I almost was up in the air on playing Higgins in my season long last week, which still I would have won. But it would have been a lot closer game if I would have, right? So he said, and what he said was very smart, man. He said, don't overcoach your fantasy team. He said, play the guys that got you there, right? Stafford's been my go-to quarterback all season. I finished 10-4 before the playoffs. So even though Lance, I'm just giving you guys this information because this is how involved and how heavy I am on Lance this week as well, though. I'm debating. I picked him up so that anybody I'm playing or whatever could not grab him, right? Didn't give him the opportunity. I cock blocked him. I fantasy blocked him, whatever you want to call it. So we got Trey Lance. I love as a cash play. Cash quarterback all way. You can play him. You can plug him in a GPP or two as well. What's up, AJ Hobb? How you doing, man? And half PPR, if Connor can't run, do I play Boston Scott, Mike Williams, Irick, MFS, or Beasley? If Connor can't play, Mike Williams is kind of a tough. I like Ayuk. I would like in this order probably. Beasley and Ayuk are a flip of a coin, but those would be my top plays. And then probably Mike Williams. Boston Scott may find Pater, might get in the end zone, and he might do it twice. We don't know. But the problem with the whole Philadelphia thing is it's a scary situation when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts there. The reason being is because Jalen Hurts has the high rush upside. So when they get in within that, when they get inside the 10-yard line, he's going to do a lot of option run plays, etc. And more times than not, he's going to keep the ball and he's going to run it, right? I think Beasley, you got better options. I have Stafford. Got to run. Hey, Cueto's brother, man. I love you, man. Have a good day, buddy. Take care, man. Jeremy D, what up, man? Who are the cheap running backs? We'll get back to it, Jeremy D. I touched on a couple already. What's up, Robin? Go Packers. Skull, LOL. Yeah, my secret other team is the Packers, as Balls would tell him. I'm a Packer fan, a secret Packer fan, according to Balls. It's kind of a joke we have going on. Idaho. Nice. Going to Idaho, Amy. All right. Cool. That'll be fun. So, AJ, to answer that, if you're not doing Connor, I would go Ayuk or Beasley, Mike Williams, MVS, Boston Scott, in that order. That's how I would look at that. Some other guys may give you their options as well. Maybe they could also in the chat how they feel so you can get some different takes. A lot of people in here are pretty good fantasy and DFS players. So there you go. So Terry says he would do Beasley, Williams, Ayuk, MVS, and Scott. So the only difference we're at is Ayuk and Williams. He pretty much has switched. So maybe Beasley would be the guy to go to. All right, the line on this game as well, real quick. Let's grab that line. It is going to be a 12 favored by 12. It's 44-point total. So, again, Trey Lance, a great $6,400. He's $4,800 on DraftKings, guys. $4,800 on DraftKings. Now, also, this guy's a guy I'm going to be maybe looking at next year. We're going to see what Houston does in the offseason and who they pick up. to build their offense around and what kind of receivers they get. But if Watson doesn't stay in Houston and they don't do something with Watson and he is really their guy going forward, this might be a guy that I'm looking at more next year. You know, you could look at him here this week. It's tough, though, against the San Fran defense. But that's any given Sunday, guys. That's where you have to get your mindset to look differently, especially when we're looking to build GPP lineups. If you want to take down and be at the top of the board in a GPP, you have to think that way. You have to play that way sometimes in a position or two, like I've talked about before. We have to have like 2 spots in our whole line that are under 10, under 5% owned that go off. And then the rest of your lineup goes off. That's how you get to the top. That's how you get to the top in DFS, in fantasy football. That's how it works. So, Debo, obviously, Kittle, you're going to be paying a lot, but you're saving at that receiver or the quarterback spot, excuse me. Eli Mitchell is questionable. Wilson, maybe. He did all right for us last week, cheap. Who else? Burkhead has been just a quiet little beast, but man, their defense is tough. You went up against the Chargers, which their defense is soft. He had 149 rushing yards and 2 rushing TDs last week. But I don't know that I like that against the Niners. So, you know, what'll happen is this guy will get it in. You play him, and this guy will get that touchdown, right? So that's kind of where we're at there on that game. Denver at the Chargers. This is another week where Justin Herbert could fly under the radar and could have a monster week. Remember the last time that I was really heavy on Justin Herbert? And I said, well, I wasn't heavy on him, but I was heavy on thinking this was a week he could smash. And I said that, right? And I said playing with Keenan Allen, Eckler you could throw in there. That's when, I forget who the Packers were playing, but Devontae Adams had a great week. We loved Adams. I pretty much almost named majority of that lineup on plays, right, to put together. And didn't play it. We talked about it before the game started. It was on video. It's back. I forget which week it was, but that was the week that the winning lineup had the majority of those guys. And it had Mr. Herbert at quarterback with Eckler, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams. I think the same defense we were on talking about. I mean, and someone won $1 million. Like, absolutely mind-blowing. Another spot also where Austin Eckler, going to pay that price tag again, but he's going to be low-owned. This is a spot where you can really gain some leverage here, especially, again, their defense is tough. Not as tough against the rush, tougher against the pass. And that's, again, why people aren't going to be on Justin Herbert, because they're looking at the matchup. But don't realize that, again, it's any given Sunday. Anyone can go off. Anybody can have a big day. What's up, Richard? How you doing, buddy? Aaron Jones versus Vikings or Ronald Jones? Ronald Jones. I would take Ronald Jones over Aaron Jones personally. What's up, Timmy? How you doing, buddy? Happy anniversary, man. AJ, glad we could help, brother. No problem, man. Anytime. You can come in here and ask anytime. Any questions? Let's see. Robin, I'd take Mahomes. Mahomes or Herbert? Man, that's tough. I mean, Herbert's in a tougher spot. Is this for DFS or is this for fantasy season long? If it's for season long, I would probably go safe and say Mahomes. But if it's DFS, I would take Herbert all day over Mahomes in GPPs. So, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen over Williams, obviously. You could try to plug them both in. Man, this guy helped me last week, too, with Eckler out. I had Eckler go on that COVID. I picked him up, luckily got him, and he got me some good points. But Eckler's back, so no reason to go there. Denver, I'm really not on anybody. Noah Fant, maybe you can always talk about because he'll get those 4 to 6 targets, maybe 7, and he could find the end zone. So if he does, there you go. All right, Arizona at Dallas. I love Dak Prescott this week. He came back. He had a great game last week. I think he comes back and does the same thing this week. Going to be a great game. I think Arizona's favored in this game. Let me look at the point total. I'd probably take Dallas in this if it was me. Let me see. Dallas. Where are you? Oh, no, Dallas is favored. Dallas is favored by 6.5. I don't know. For some reason, I thought maybe they weren't. So, you could go Kyler here as well. I would much rather save the $800 on FanDuel and go with Prescott. Zeke, I mean, we keep saying this every week, but you know, he's starting to get in the end zone. He's had 2 weeks back-to-back in the end zone. Still, it scares me with Pollard. I don't know. Vance sucks. Luck sucks. Judy drops everything. Yeah. The life of being a Denver fan, right? So, Prescott, Lamb, obviously, is your top go-to. Cooper's right there, too. So, if you want to save a little money, take a shot with him. Actually, Connor, again, we've got that Q tag. We don't know. Edmonds, Kirk. Kirk has got to be very involved in this game if they're going to keep it close. They should be playing from behind. So this is a spot where you could look at someone like Kirk, 6,400. I mean, he's not that 5'2" or 5'6" or 5'8" he used to be, right? With everybody out now, his price has gone up. Pollard's, that's what I was saying. Pollard just scares me playing Elliott with Pollard there, it just scares me. I don't like it. Michael Gallup, I don't mind at 5,800. Again, we should be having pieces of this game in our lineups. If you don't make this game the main part of your start of your stack or your one stack way or your back and forth, you should have this mini stack. This game should be mini stacked in your lineups, especially your GPP lineups. So think about that. Gallup, Ertz, I like a lot. Rondell Moore, I don't know, man. If he plays, possibly. He hasn't done much with everybody else out, which surprises me, but let's see what happens here. Wesley, if Moore's out, is a value play you could look to. He did get in the end zone last week, 4 targets, 2 receptions. That's someone you can look at. I'd roll with Waddle over Higgins, I think, at Bash Bros. This week, in season long, I would take Waddle over Higgins, yes, but I love them both this week in DFS. I actually would probably play Higgins over Waddle in DFS, but I'll have both of them in my lineups, a lot of my lineups. So, you know, if you have to pick one, that's where you go. That's how I would do it, that order, depending upon what it is. Carolina and the Saints, not really big on too much here, to be honest with you guys. Again, trying to keep the player pools minimized. That's kind of one of my goals. I try to do that, but sometimes I stretch a little bit more than I should when I'm doing my own. Amir Abdullah, that would be a value running back, as crazy as it sounds. They're going up against one of the top defenses. I still think this is a spot you just plug it in, you get whatever points you can get to help spread out the rest of your build. Amir Abdullah would be a guy I'd be looking to for value. Hubbard, you could 54. You know, he got a couple rushing attempts too, but I think I don't know. I'm like trying to find value here. I know it's one of the toughest defenses. I know people are going to see that, say that. Not really a fan of anyone in this game besides possibly that for value. Callaway, you could maybe look to. Robbie Anderson, if you think against a tough Saints defense. I just don't like it. I don't like it. There's nothing really here that I really absolutely love. Detroit, Seattle, the last game on the main slate. Looks like Swift's back, huh? Will make his return lineup. So Swift could be interesting. I think his price tag's a little high for who they're playing. But it is an interesting spot. Russell Wilson, not really on him this week, but if you're going to play him, you're obviously going to look to someone like him, Lockett, Everett, DK Metcalf. This guy with the Rashad Pennies could be interesting. This guy right here, how about this dude? This dude has just been absolutely a monster. His price tag's there now, though. It's $6,900. He's priced about appropriately. So he's not as good of a play. But still, it doesn't matter who his... Could you imagine if this guy had a good quarterback? Like if the Lions had a good quarterback Do you imagine what this dude would be doing? What's up, Richard? How you doing, man? We'll have to wait for a bit. Your thoughts? I would take Ronald Jones over Aaron Jones. So, Ronald Jones over Aaron Jones, Richard. St. Browntown, that's right. This dude has been a stud, but again, he's priced appropriately now. Remember when we could get him for like 5K? 6,900 now. Still a good, but it's not like a huge value play. We're not gaining a lot, right? If he gets in the end zone once and gets like 70 yards, he basically made up for the price. That's about it. I'd roll. Yep, that's about it. That's really where you're at here on this. So, all right, guys, let's so just kind of to recap, this is kind of who I'm on, and then we'll build our lineups. So, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, one of my favorite. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow are right there as well, right below Prescott, and then Allen in the mix. Trey Lance would be my cash quarterback. Save the money, build around that. Okay, and I'd probably only run one receiver or tight end with him. I wouldn't do a full-on big stack. Like I wouldn't do like him, Kittle, and Samuel, or Kittle and Ayuk. I'd play him with either Samuel or Ayuk or Kittle. That's it. I'm not building like a full-on stack with him. All right. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor. He'll be, running back wise, probably the most raw points scored. His price tag is a lot higher than everybody else. Eckler's like second, I think, at 9K. But huge upside. David Montgomery and Ronald Jones are my favorite running backs this week. Where your value is going to be at running back is Darrell Williams, number 1, with CEH out. Number 2 is probably going to be, even though it's in a very tough matchup, Amir Abdullah, just to save the money. If you're that would be like flex play, right? Or to save value to pay up at quarter or the receiver side and defense a little bit. Receivers, obviously Cooper Kupp. Run him with Stafford. Stafford would be the other guy too I forgot about. So throw Stafford in the mix too. He'll be in a lineup or two of mine. Antonio Brown, as long as he plays, it looks like Adam Scheffler is saying he practiced Saturday. He looks like he's expected to play. We don't have to say much more about him. I've talked about him all season when he's played. Tyreek Hill, again, think about guys that came off a bad week that are still in good spots that people are going to not look to because they had a bad week. They just assume that they had a bad week last week, so they're going to have a bad week this week. That's not how it works. Pittman, big cash play. Christian Kirk is going to have to be heavily involved. They're going to probably be playing from behind most of the game. He's their main target in Arizona right now. Diggs and Beasley. Knox as well, but he's at tight end. Diggs, Beasley, receiver. I'd prefer Beasley over Diggs. Just save the money, even though Diggs will get more targets. If Beasley can find a way to get in the end zone once, maybe even twice, it'll pay off for us. Waddle, dude's just turning into an absolute beast in the NFL in front of our eyes with a decent quarterback, not a great quarterback, at least not yet. Braxton Berrios is where our value is at receiver, right? Braxton Berrios is our value receiver, and also the value receiver is going to be Michael Gallup for me with liking Prescott, and then CeeDee Lamb. And you could actually do like a Lamb, Gallup, Prescott if you wanted to, or you could just run like two of them, one with the quarterback. Tight ends, Gronk's going to be that's going to be my preferred pay up. Kittle, if that's who I'm going to run with Lance, if I'm not going to play a receiver with Lance in my Lance lineups. Otherwise, without my Lance lineups, I'm looking to Gronk. I'm looking to Goddard. Goddard's probably one of my favorite ones. But another guy that I don't mind at value, let me see what his price tag is at tight end here real quick. Where's that? I don't mind. Am I in the wrong game? Must be. Oh, no, I just have to go up. I don't mind CJ Uzma, 5,100. I prefer him more in a Burrow stack, right? But I don't mind him even alone. I think he's a big piece of that game. So, okay. All right. So, all right, you guys good? Josh Gordon is my valuable receiver. You like Gordon? So, where is he at on 4,700? Okay. Three targets, no receptions last week. Again, we're not worried about what he did last week. We don't focus on that. Pringle would be a guy you can look to too, guys. 5,600. So put Pringle in your list or Gordon, right? Could run one of those guys back if you don't play Tyreek with a Burrow stack, right? Yeah, you like your boy at 49er running back. All right, guys. So let's do it. Let's build a FanDuel lineup. Let's build a DraftKings lineup, and then I got to start getting stuff together, get my lineups looked at, and go from there. Well, Dalvin Cook doesn't play until tonight. So, yeah, I love Dalvin Cook tonight. My season long. He's playing. Knox, choke. Yeah, but again, Bogarts, we can't worry about, we can't, in NFL, we don't care what they did last week, right? And too many people do, and that's what throws people off playing players in good spots just because they didn't have a good week last week. They got burned by a player. Unless you're getting burned all year by somebody every week, week in and week out, if you feel like you want to go back to him, go back to him. If your gut's telling you that you feel he's a good play, follow your gut. Listen to your gut. It doesn't matter what someone did last week. Last week has no bearing on what's happening this week. And that's part of that mindset we have to get in our heads when we're building lineups. We can't focus on what someone, just like Stafford, shit in the bed. Shit the bed last week, didn't have a great week the week before. This would be a spot where I'd be going man, Stafford's going to smash this week. And people are not going to play him because he shit the bed. And I'm going to get him low owned, right? Against Baltimore's defense that has given up the most receiving yards. They're one of the worst in receiving defenses. So, man, Stafford with Kupp and Beckham and fucking, who is there? Higbee at tight end, whoever you want to put in there. All right, so, guys, Evan's got hey, Evan, I appreciate you popping in, man. Yeah, anytime you can bring in the questions, I'll answer, and my guys can put theirs in too. So, let me get the two. So, I'm going to do Richard's first, and then, Evan, I'll do yours. I got to pick two, Ron, because his was in order first. Ronald Jones, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones. Got to pick two. I'm going Ronald Jones, Dalvin Cook. With Kirk Cousins out, they're going to have to look to Dalvin a lot heavier. Jones will have a good game, I believe. But I would play Ronald Jones, and I would play Dalvin Cook. I would leave Aaron Jones on the bench. That's what I would do. But yeah, who is Fred Lynn, right? Yeah, I know you should play. Yep, exactly. Craddies, what up, dude? Good to see you, brother, man. Let me give you the... Haven't seen you in a minute. The blue. Anybody else? You see blue in here? Once you guys hang out a little bit and I see you a few streams and, you're just good and communicating, asking questions, doing whatever, I'll give you guys a bluey too. Nobody's really better here than another. Unless you're a younger, then I can't do it either just for certain reasons. But... so Evan, pick two before we start building our lineups here. What's up, Craddy? Hope you're good, man. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you, Evan G. Pick two. Amari Cooper, Damian Harris, Amari St. Brown, Brandon Cooks, or Chase Edmonds. I would go Cooper. I would go St. Brown. I would go Cooks. I would go Harris. I would go Edmonds. That would be my order in that. So I would go Cooper and Amari St. Brown. That's who I would go with. That's what I'd run with. Oh, no, you're good. Crady, you don't have to chat all the time, but it's good. It's good. I like to see that you're in here and you say what's up or whatever. It makes me feel good, man. Makes me good knowing some people are watching. I know no one's expected, no one has to, but we got a nice community here, man. Everybody likes to say what's up to each other. So everybody else that's in here, welcome. My man Craddy in here is a longtime fellow hobbyist, follower, friend. And Evan, welcome Evan in here. And welcome, who was the other guy? AJ Hobb that was in here earlier too. So you guys, welcome these guys in here. It's cool, man. I love the questions. They don't bother me. That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you guys. I've been doing DFS and fantasy for many years. I've been playing daily fantasy like football, basketball, baseball.
NASCAR for nearly 8 years now, daily. So been doing it a long time. I just try to help my card sports hobby community out by doing this every Sunday morning. So but yeah, welcome aboard, man. And like I said, as I see you more, in here chatting whatnot, then I'll get you a Bluey too. Blue Wrench is what it is. It's nothing big. It's just some channels only have a few monitors or moderators that they have like thousands of people watching them live, so they can get rid of the troll stuff. But any of you guys do it. All right, not a problem, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all in here, man. And we all can help each other. If you have anything that you feel confident in, that you're feeling that you want to share with the group, any of you guys, you'll see it in the chat. People will say, hey, here's who I'm on this week, or here's who I feel. We can kind of help each other out, That's what it's about. Jeremy D, what up? Is Geoff? Let me look. Let me see if he's questionable, out, or what his deal is. I'm not even sure, but I'm not worried because it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, as we've seen all season. Amari St. Brown continues to be good. Quarterback, he's doubtful. He is doubtful. So who? And Boyle was the quarterback last week, right? And what did St. Brown do last week? He had his best week yet with Boyle at quarterback. He had his best week with Boyle at quarterback. So that would lead me even more to point me to like him even more with Boyle starting, right? He's had his best week out of the last 4. Patterson has sucked last. Yeah, but again, you can't go off of what he's done previously, right? This is not baseball. This is not momentum. Momentum doesn't carry as much because there's usually about a week off between plays, right? So I kind of like Atlanta 14 plus for betting. Maybe. Hey, I'm having a tough time. Championship game. Who should I start at my running backs? All right. I love this, man. This is what I love. This is what I'm here for. All right. So Ronald Jones, I like. Check. Eckler, I love. Zeke's in a good spot too. Monty, help me out. Monty Montgomery. You talking about David Montgomery? If Monty is David Montgomery, Iago Burrito. If you're referring to Monty as David Montgomery, I would do Jones and Monty all day. Yep, Paulo is feeling the same thing I'm feeling. The order I would do it in would be Jones, Monty, Eckler, Zeke, and then Damian Harris. Yep. Lock in. David Montgomery I'm playing David Montgomery in just about every one of my DFS lineups today as well. So he'll be in cash and in GPPs, which means if he's in my cash lineup, he's very viable for season long. Jones and Montgomery, two of my top favorite running backs this week, to be honest with you. That's what I've touched on earlier today. Cook and Perm out today. Anderson punt see, there's another good call right there. Craddy says Anderson a punt play at tight end at 2.5K on DK. So we're gonna do a FanDuel lineup and DK lineup like we do each and every single week, guys. So yep. Yeah, Hiago, I would do, and welcome, by the way, as well to you as well. It's good to see new people in here, man. I love it. Yeah, again, as you show up each week, I know we're getting to the end of the season, but I'll do playoffs as well. We'll be doing this. We'll be back again, and I also do a podcast every Monday night with some other fellow community members. It's called the Playmaker Podcast. It's fun, man. If you our last week's video, if you go to our last Playmaker one, the most current one, if you go back and look on the videos. If you post a comment or question or topic, anything, comment, question, topic on that video, and you do it each and every week. So then Monday, tomorrow, when we do our Playmaker podcast, beginning after our introductions, live, we'll randomize everybody who left a comment, question, topic. We'll randomize your names, and whoever gets to the top we'll spin the wheel, and then whoever lands on gets $30 or $30 auction credit, because I do sports card auctions as well. So a lot of variety here on this channel in regards to sports, hobby stuff, DFS, the whole 9 yards. All right, guys. So here's the big question. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I hear you. Football is the number one DFS sports, where last week means nothing new. Defense, weather, game plan means... Yep, exactly, Jeremy. Exactly, brother. Exactly. All right. So let's do this. And let's clear our mindset quick while we think about this and build a lineup like we do every week together in FanDuel and in DraftKings. And I'll show you guys my I only have my FanDuel cash lineup done so far. I don't have my DraftKings one, but I kind of told you who my favorites are, and I'll tell you again when we're done. So here we go. Who is going to be in our community build? Which quarterback are we going to run with this week? Which one do you guys like? I need to get a couple in the chat, as many people want to post, and then we'll work it out. And sometimes if it's close on two different quarterbacks, a majority, then what we'll do is we'll build one in FanDuel and use that quarterback, the other quarterback in DraftKings. So which quarterback do we want to build around this week? I love Eckler too, Terry. Don't get me wrong. That he was my third pick. He was my third option. So, right up there. So, just take that for what it is. Hiago. Terry likes Monty and Eckler, followed by Jones and Harris. So, Herbert. Yep, I love Herbert, man. And Hurts is in a good spot because he draws such huge rush upside, right? Huge rush upside. Very big upside. So I have one Lance. I have one Hurts. Hiago's saying he's starting Herbert in his lineup. This is like a community lineup. We do this every week at the end. When I go through the games, then we build a FanDuel and a DraftKings lineup together. And you're more than welcome to play it. You can use a majority of it and swap stuff out. However, whatever you want to do, it don't matter. We do this together. So I have Hurts and Lance. Somebody be a tiebreaker here. This is where we all need to be involved. This is where the community now. So Mike Evans is expected to play limited. All right, we'll do Stafford and Kupp and DK, but we need someone to break the tie. Terry, break the tie with us on the FanDuel lineup. We need Lance or Hurts. Maybe we'll build two. Maybe we'll do a Lance and a Hurts FanDuel. Then we'll do a Stafford one on DK, or we can do a couple. Joby1 says, Hurts, I suppose. Does that, you hurt? You mean you're hurting, you suppose? No, I'm just kidding. All right. So we're going to say that's who we're doing. We're going to go Hurts it is. So are we going to play Goddard then? Is that what we're doing? Are we going to play Smith with him as well? Is that what you guys are thinking? Goddard, probably one of my favorite tight end options this week. If I were to list them, it's probably Goddard, Gronk. Probably after Gronk, I'm probably going either Ertz or Uzma. I like Schultz as well if I'm playing Dak. Look at this, man. And again, we don't care what they did the last couple weeks, but he's getting targets. Dak loves going to him. All right. So Goddard, Hurts. Are we gonna throw a little Devontae Smith in there or not? Yeah, Hiago said Hurts as well. So we're just going to go Hurts and Goddard. Perfect. All right. Awesome. So that leaves all our receiver spots open. Leaves all our running back spots open. So are we going to just run with... So here's what we need to decide. Are we going to just run with two running backs, or are we going to do three and use the flex? Are we going to do Jones and Montgomery and Eckler? Is that what we're going to do in our lineup, in our draft king lineups? Yeah, that's Joby. I love Dak Prescott. I love Gallup, and I love Schultz. That's kind of like my little build I like there. What do you guys think? Who do you guys want to do at running back spots? Do you want to do Montgomery and Jones? So do we want to do this? You guys tell me. I'm just kind of plugging in off of what I'm feeling and what I've been seeing from everybody else. If there's somebody else you'd rather have or prefer, let me know. We doing something like this? Montgomery for sure. I love Jones. You like Eckler, and I don't mind him either. Yep. So we got Montgomery in there. We got Jones. We got Eckler. Do we want to pay up at defense? Is there a different defense we like more than, like, say, the Bears? New England, I think we just saved $200 over Jacksonville personally. We look at someone like Miami at 36, but they're in Tennessee. They're not at home. Chicago's at home. They're going up against the Giants. Bucks defense. So you'd prefer the Bucks over the Jets or the Bucks over the Bears? You'd pay up $100 more. Oh, I like Mixon too. I mean, this is your guys' build. You let me know. I mean, you're gonna save $500. Like I said, this game should be stacked. This and the Dallas game, you should somehow fit pieces of that and the Dallas Carolina or Cardinal game inside these inside your main build. So you guys, I like Swift to be sneaky. That's what I talked about when I hit him earlier. I'd roll with Bears. I think that's if we're talking $100 here, I like them both. Paul, I think you're right on. Obviously playing the Jets, but I just rather take Chicago at home in Chicago, where Tampa's on the road. So that leaves us with 6,100 on average. The Giants have been absolutely horrid, terrible, absolutely terrible, guys. All right, so here it is. Here's the receivers. Now, otherwise, we could get rid of one of these. We could get rid of Jones and play somebody like Williams. What's Darrell Williams at? He's at 6,200. That would save us 800. Let's see what we can do here with what we have. So, yeah, George. All right, George got a question. I appreciate you popping in here, man. I love the questions. Welcome, by the way, George. Darrell Williams, DJ Moore, Patterson. You pick one? You're picking one here? I'm taking Darrell Williams all day with Clyde Edwards-Helaire out. Full PPR? I'll take Darrell Williams. Either way. Either way, George, and welcome aboard, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, so here it is, guys. Do we do somebody like Berrios, save some money in a spot? Down here a little bit. We got to reach. We got Beasley down here at 5,600 too. I think is in a smash spot. Right here, we talked about this guy. He's kind of their go-to guy, right? Moore's gone. I know they're playing a tough defense, but they're going to have some offensive production, right? So you got Moore's out and Crowder's doubtful. Gabriel Davis, Hiago, we talked about as well. I love Gabriel Davis this week. But I would rather go to Beasley. Beasley was out last week, right? That's why Gabriel Davis had the game he had. Because Beasley was actually out last week. So no, I know Higgins, but yeah. So Berrios is super cheap. It's 5,300. Again, he's what they have besides Michael Carter. Besides Michael Carter, this is all that they have on their offense, really, to go with. This is where we can save a little money. We don't need him to smash. We don't need him to really do much, right? So that'd get us to 6,500, right? So now the question is, do we do somebody like Pringle? Do we get Gallup in there to get that Dallas-Arizona piece in that game? Because Gallup is 5,800, right? I don't think Davis is out. No, Davis is in, but Beasley was out last week. Yeah, he just was activated. Beasley was out last week. That's why Gabriel could still go off. Like I said earlier when I talked on that game, he could still go off. Anybody could still get the end zone, right? I just don't know that he's going to get those 2 TDs. I think, Beasley is one of Knox and Beasley are his favorite targets. Yeah, I love Gallup. That's such a high point total, right? We like Dallas. We like Dak. If we do that, that leaves us 7,200. It's 7,200. So Higgins is 7K. Waddle's 7K. CeeDee Lamb is 72. But if we play CeeDee Lamb and we play Gallup, then we need to have Dak in here. It doesn't make any sense to have 2 receivers and not have that quarterback. So that's another thing you guys got to remember. When you guys are building lineups, unless you're doing it as a run back, because that can get unique as well. We've talked about that in the past where you'd have 2 receivers, right? Or a receiver and a running back from the game, and then have the opposite game quarterback. But you would at least have to have the opposite game quarterback if you felt like it was a good spot to run it back. So Mackenzie had a big game last week. Yeah, but again, Beasley was out, guys. Yeah, they were both out. Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders were both out. So these guys are going to have great games when these guys are not in. You got to remember, we got to look at who is playing and who wasn't playing. And we also got to remember that last week was last week. This is a whole new week, any given Sunday. So the question here is, we could possibly look to find a little more value somewhere, either at a running back spot or something, or defense, and pay up more. Or we could look to somebody like Waddle that we like, right? McLaurin, against Philly, you could have the opposite playback of your quarterback that we have in the lineup. And Goddard, you could do Higgins, right? Then kind of a Burrow target. Renfro, St. Brown. Again, if we did CeeDee Lamb, then we probably want to switch Gallup because otherwise we have to have Dak as our quarterback. It just doesn't make sense. Right? So we're thinking Waddle. I think we're fans of Waddle. And you can change this. And you guys, actually, that would give you 200 if you wanted to not leave money on the table. You could actually then put in the Pats defense if you wanted to against Jacksonville. So you could either do Chicago defense, Tampa Bay, or Patriots. That would give you that option on that lineup. So that lineup's going to be Hurts, Montgomery, Jones, Berrios, Gallup, Waddle, Goddard, Eckler, Bears. And then you could pay up. If you wanted to change it, you could put Pats defense. You could put Bucks defense. Again, guys, it doesn't hurt to leave money on the table because most people will do whatever they can to pay their full salary. And sometimes that doesn't make sense. Sometimes that's not the best way or the best play, right? Let's do one more. So we're going to do one more here. We're going to do, who was the other guy we wanted? Back up here. Oh, Lance. We're going to do a Lance one here. Then we're going to do at least one DK, maybe 2, and then I got to get ready to run. Get ready to get over to my son and get all that stuff. Head out to Lambeau. Take a 4-hour drive out to Lambeau. All right. Put it in here, even though it's single. All right. So we already agreed we're going to do this one, make this one a Lance one. So Lance, are we going to run any receiver? Are we going to run anybody back with him? Are we doing Kittle? Are we doing Ayuk? Are we doing Samuel? I think Samuel makes the most sense, either Samuel or Kittle, right? I think Samuel or Kittle makes the most sense here if we're going to run someone back, right? Agree? You like Kittle more? Kittle more than Debo? No, Terry, I didn't. I was supposed to. And my guy hit me up like middle of the week. And he said, hit me up the middle of the week and he said, are you still planning to come? Because I was going to do it yesterday, right? At like noon. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I still plan on it. I'm probably going to be drinking for, like, you going to be drinking a lot? And I'm like, I don't know, probably. He's like, well, you're going to bleed like a pig. He's like, he wanted to go pick up some car. He's going to work on maybe a race or something, a race car or something he's going to be building. He's like, I'm just going to go to Illinois because he's got a bunch of friends and family in Illinois. So he went out there, and we're rescheduling it. It's not the end of the world. All right, let me just see something. Let me throw Chicago's defense in, see what we're looking at here. So this will leave us with 6,500 if we put both Samuel and Kittle. Samuel in the flex. He's like another running back. Yeah, we could do that as well. Well, Joby, I like that option. Let me see. To have Debo if you have Lance having a good day. Right. I think Kittle will be involved as much as well, though, you know, and he's been a monster. I think he can continue to be a monster. Let's see what this brings us. Let's see where this lands us, right? So, do we like the same running backs? Do we want to mix up the running backs? What do you guys think? Could do something like this. And then we could put Taylor or Eckler in there. That would leave us, well, that's only going to leave us at 5,000 if we did that. So, maybe. Yeah, maybe we put Samuel in the flex, like Joby 1 wants to do. Plug Penny in for 69 instead of Williams. Or should we get, where do you want Penny? I think Eckler's in a great spot, but he's so expensive. So do this instead of Eckler, and that gives us 6,100. And then who do we want? Who's going to be our value receiver? Who are we putting at value? Are we going back to someone like Gallup again? Berrios, Gallup, Berrios, Pringle, Beasley. We could go to someone like Beasley. That would give us 6,600 if we did do that. We can change it. When I put someone in, doesn't mean we have to stick with it. I'm just looking at where we're sitting at on rest of the money available. Then we could go with someone like Beckham. Beckham? Maybe? Right? People going to Cup. Maybe put a Beckham in there with... We think Stafford's going to have a decent... You want a second tight end at flex? So you want someone like Goddard in there? So why don't we put Kittle in at flex? Let's try a two tight end build here. So Goddard at tight end. We'll put Kittle at flex. Keep it with our stack. Is that what you're thinking? Or CJ. Or someone else. That will leave us 1,200. I kind of like Beckham. Or Jefferson. I love Chase too. Yeah. Or Higgins. I just think Higgins, even though we don't worry about last week, he's $600 cheaper than Chase is. And again, I like Burrow again this week. So I like them both. So do we like to get rid of Beasley or Beckham? Josh Gordon is another great spot. So if we do Gordon, though, I don't know that I want to have two. I don't want to have two. Let me just see something once here. If we did something like this, we could have Antonio Brown or Hill in there, right? I like Beckham, though. Yeah, I'm kind of... Pull Beasley. Let me just see something once. Leave us with Swift. Could go up by... We could go up to Jones here, though. Have some of that Tampa Bay game in there. And then 6,000 on the board. That might land us Mooney. We could put Money Mooney in there. But then we got Montgomery and Mooney. Do we want to have a different running back in this lineup than Montgomery, or just run them both? What do you guys think? I'm not big on DJ Moore this week myself, Bogarts. I'm not a big fan of DJ Moore this week, personally. you could go to him. Yeah, I kind of like Beckham this week, man. Something's telling me Beckham's going to be like a guy that's going to do something. Lance, Mixon, Montgomery, Cup, Berrios, Moore, Waddle, Anderson, Colsty went with Naked Lance. Yeah, and Naked Lance is not bad because he gives you that rush upside, right? Any quarterback, guys, just remember this too when you're building. Any quarterback that has rush upside, rush scoring upside, that's actually runs the ball is... You can run naked. You can run naked. Technically, receivers that are pocket passers like a Matthew Stafford, if you're going to have Stafford in your lineup, you most definitely should have at least one person catching a ball from him, because if he's going to go off, there's typically going to be one, maybe two receivers that go off with him. If he's going to have a ceiling game to get there, unless he spreads it out to 7 different receivers throughout the whole game, a ton, there's going to be a guy or two that goes off. What do you guys think? Hurts, Lance, Taysom. I like Hurts and Lance. I mean, I picked up Lance in my season-long championship, even though I have Stafford. I'm sticking with Stafford, but I picked up Lance so that the guy I'm playing couldn't pick him up. So for my lineup, should I start Hurts over Herbert? Everyone at the rush game at the Eagles is hurt as well. Yeah, we really like Hurts, man. I mean, Herbert I love too. Sneakier play. Baltimore gives... So put it this way. Here's what you're getting between the two guys. Hurts has the rush upside over Herbert. Herbert's with really no good running backs. Scott they have, but he's going to keep the ball inside the 10, I think. And then on the Herbert side... you have Herbert. I think Herbert's in a smash spot, personally. Sneaky. But I would probably go Hurts over him. So you guys like this? Can we move on to DK? Oh, yeah. Yep. Hurts, Lance, Tips. Yep, credit. I appreciate it, but I didn't know what... You're landing those 3 questions. I didn't know if you're asking my opinion on them, on who was who. But yes. All right, so you guys agree? You guys like this? So move on to DK. Yeah, I'll let them know for sure, buddy. All right. We're good? All right, let's move on. All right, here we go. So I think we already said, I'll do 2 lineups for you guys. Even though I'm kind of stretching time here, I'll do 2 lineups for you guys, because I have a lot of stuff already ready to go. So first one we're gonna build is gonna be Stafford Cup, like we discussed earlier. Okay. The Bears are a little bit cheaper, 3,200 in regards to value price wise between the two sites. They're a little bit cheaper, right? Tight end. I don't understand why Goddard's so cheap. Schultz is great too if you're playing Dak. I would love to put Schultz with Dak. But Goddard at 5,200, unless you want someone like Ertz or Knox or Gronk. Gronk's 6,200. I think we got to save some money here, because what is Berrios' price anyway? Hi, baby. You guys like Berrios here still at 3,700? Give us some value. Because we're going to need to find some value here for sure. D. Williams. What did I tell you guys last week about the Tampa Jones thing? Then Vaughn's going to score a touchdown. And what did he do? He scored a touchdown, and he was like 40-something. 4,000-something. Yeah, he's 4,400 last week. Did I not tell you guys that? I said. Now watch. Vaughn is going to be the one that scores, and he did. I like Berrios even better on DK with the foot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Kirk is an interesting play too, but we might need 2 values here if we're going to want to play our... he's 5,800. 5,800 on DK is Kirk. Okay. People were talking about Gordon a lot over there. Let me see what he is. Josh Gordon's $3,000. Mr. Josh Gordon is $3,000. We did that. That'll get us up to 62 because we have our pay up at Cup. Goddard. This would give us some room here. We could get our guy we love today, Montgomery, in there for sure. You guys, we can switch this out. I'm just plugging people in to see where we land. There's Jones. Jones is right there. That would leave us 5,600. More Wilson, Money Mooney, Knox, Singletary, Foreman, Jefferson. Might have to pay down a little bit more at running back. Trying to play with this a little bit. Burkhead's 5,000. Burkhead's an interesting play too. I don't think, is anyone back at running back there? Or is he still going to be the main guy? Tony Michelle. Yeah, we don't want to run with Stafford though. Williams. Swift at 6,000. Someone was talking about Swift. We could go with someone like Swift. That would get us 59. Then we could do a double tight end Pitts against Buffalo. Ayuk, we could fit in there now for sure. Right? We like that San Fran game. D. Williams, Michael Pittman, we could plug in, or Kirk. Could throw in Kirk. Tell me what you guys think. Yeah, I like the Swift. So who do we want to put in the flex here? We want to do Kirk, Pittman, Ayuk, Pitts, Pollard, Beckham Jr. even. Oh, we could do this. Hey, what about this? What about that right there, huh? Stafford, Montgomery, Swift, Kupp, Berrios, Gordon, Goddard, Beckham Jr., and Bears. Right? We want Stafford to go off. Right? The two receivers stack with Stafford. Might be the play. We don't have to run anybody back from that game. A lot of people, that's another thing we always talk about on this channel, right? When we talk in these plays, a lot of times what happens is everybody tries to run somebody back because the game should be a shootout. Well, that's a way to get different. Get off of the run back and just go one stack one way. Be different. You like Pitts? Pitts over against Buffalo, huh? In Buffalo. You like that over Beckham when we're playing Stafford? You sure? Yeah, but we don't need him any cheaper. I think we like everybody else we have in our lineup. I don't think we need anybody cheaper. Right? Beckham's starting to get the looks if we're going to play him. So you guys would rather go to Pitts over like someone like Beckham because there's Knox right there too, right? In Buffalo, you guys want... I mean, if you guys want it, put it. I think I would run this lineup. All right. You like Kirk? Yeah, Kirk's another good play. I think there's 3 ways you could do this. So here. Let's do this one. Okay. I'm actually going to run this same lineup back, but I'm going to change the flex. 2 different times. So I'll put your Pitts one in here. So there you go. You got your Pitts one. Stafford, Montgomery, Swift, Kupp, Berrios, Gordon, Goddard, Pitts, and Bears defense. Let me go back and see. Let me do one more thing real quick here. Then I'm going to put Kirk in this one. Because I like all these. And I actually would probably even do one where you put Ayuk in there, right? But let's go back to that lineup and see if we can upgrade Gordon from 3,000. Do something better. Oh, wait, that's the Pitts one. I got the wrong one. Hang on. Gordon. This one's the one we're looking at. So 3,200. There's nothing, man. Well, yeah. Collins, Robinson. There's nothing you can upgrade. Shia Smith, Isaiah Ford. So you want to do that? Well, okay. So I'm going to keep this. Hang on a second. Hang on. I'm going to keep this one. We'll take that. Plug it into this last 3 run back. So let's go here. Wait, no. Let's go here. Back them out. We'll put Jefferson in this one. We'll upgrade. So Van Jefferson instead. Little bit of savings. Then we got 3,600 to get out of Gordon, to swap Gordon out. Mine Wesley, if he doesn't play. Josh Palmer, everybody's back. Pascal, Goodwin, Eskridge, Rogers, Austin, Dean Bird, Cedric Wilson, Rieger. Boy, not a lot of options. Poche. Maybe Wesley. Yeah, we could do that too, I guess. But I don't know that we're going to find anybody, honestly, at that price that's going to be any better of an option. Maybe a tight end. Or something we like CJ Uzma or something. I don't know what his price can be more than this, though. So Cole, Grant, Wesley, Palmer, Sims, Godwin, Evan Ingram, maybe. But we don't like the Giants at all. I mean, is he going to be better? Oh, CJ right here. There you go. You could put CJ Uzma, right? Then you would still have 300 on the table. But CJ Uzma, right? Talked about we liked him. Cheap price tag. Wesley, if I mean I said I don't mind Wesley, but it depends on who's all in and who's all out, right? You like CJ over Wesley or Wesley over CJ? That'd be the question. Or do you get rid of Van Jefferson or Beckham on this one and put somebody like Wesley or somebody in there? Right? What was Wesley's price? Oops. 3,600. So you could fit Wesley in there if you wanted to, right? He's one of the guys that he got in the end zone last week. He had some targets because the other guys that are out. But now Rondell Moore was out. It depends on if Moore is out. He was questionable last I saw. So are we going to be a fan of him still if Rondell Moore is out? You guys hit that thumbs up too, please. Make sure we do. Show me some love here. I'd appreciate it. Everybody that's in here, hit the thumbs up. What do you guys think? Give me some thoughts. The people I still have left in here. I like Kirk against Dallas. Nate says, appreciate Nate. Happy New Year as well to you, my guy. I want TP, get rid of Gordon. There, even with save. Right. What's up, man? Good morning to you, my man, Joe Mansman. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. Again, if everybody can hit that thumb, I'd appreciate it. Weird gut feeling, but rolling with Allen Robinson today. Really? Wow. Well, hey, I've always told you, man, follow your gut, right? Follow your gut. Yeah, he does need very little to cover, honestly. Yeah. I actually like, but do you like Gordon over CJ? Like, I think CJ Uzma is going to get receptions regardless, right? He's $300 more. So do you like, and then you got to ask yourself, do you like Beckham over Van Jefferson? Do you think they're the same? Like, that would make your decisions on what you do here if you're running with the rest of the lineup. So it's, do you like Beckham much more over Van Jefferson? And then just staying with Gordon, and then do you like Gordon under Uzma or Uzma over Gordon? What's up, Tedster? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my guy. Hope you're doing well, man. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. I don't like Gabriel Davis, guys. Gabriel Davis, we had 2 receivers out in Buffalo last week that are back this week. He is like the 4th, 5th go-to option. Minimum. Right? Gordon is climbing up the ladder from the likes of Robinson. Pringle and him are... Pringle's still above him a little bit. Then you got Tyreek Hill. OBJ over Van and play Anderson and flex. Anderson. Which Anderson? So... Oh, Steven Anderson? Yeah, this is the guy you were talking about. That would actually give you 700. Then if you wanted to, you could leave it on the board. Or you could go to... Put someone like Chase Edmonds in over... or no, 67 is what we'd have. You could put Ronald Jones in now if you wanted to over Swift, or you could keep Swift in there. So I like Swift a lot this week, but you could go to something like this, and you could go up and pay up more on defense if you think there's something better for $400 more. Moore is still a game time decision. Yeah, so we're not sure. That's the thing. If he's in, I wouldn't be as on Wesley. If Moore is out, if we get that news, then yeah, for sure. Yeah, Craddy's big on this, and he's got a good sneak play here, guys. Anderson, 2,500. Or if you wanted to get off Goddard as well, I'm going to probably keep this played in, but I'm just showing you guys some options. If you wanted to play this Anderson dude as your main tight end option, and then give yourself more in the flex, then in the flex spot, that would give you 5,500. And you could do somebody like Money Mooney, Dawson Knox, double tight end, Tyler Boyd, right? AJ Green, Van Jefferson. So you would have options here. You could play someone like Money Mooney, right? Different options. Yeah, or you could upgrade Barrios, right? So obviously we can't spend 90. We got 46 on average. We could go to like Kirk, Pittman, Ayuk, Williams. So we did someone like Kirk, right? That would leave us 3,400. Put Gordon back in there, like we talked about. You could go up to someone like Rodgers, Bird, Komet, Wilson. Again, you can play CJ Uzma. So the question is, do you guys like CJ Uzma or Josh Gordon more? Like, who do you think is going to have the better upside in today's game? It's close, but I think Josh is a bigger player to get more points off game. I think it's 10 DK points. Just I'm feeling Bogarts, man. I like it. I like when you guys tell me what you're feeling or how you're feeling about players. Like, that's your gut. I always tell you to follow your gut, right? So I'll just put Gordon in as well. We'll leave 400. I mean, we could see what defense is in. But then again, this is what people do. They see what else they can plug in. You could do someone like Buffalo's defense if you want to, if you're feeling it against Atlanta versus Chicago. But the Giants have just been so bad. So I think you just leave it. I think we leave. You like CJ over Gordon? Really? So you could do this, or you could put CJ in there. CJ never scores? Dude, at 30, you got to remember something, Joby. At this price tag, we don't care about them scoring. In full PPR, we don't care about him scoring. If he gives us this amount of points, we're happy with that. We're happy with 7, 8 points out of a guy that's $3,300. We're not looking for 20 points here. If we get 20 points here from a 3K guy out of anybody, that's gonna be like that's gonna be an insane, crazy hit, right? I get you, yeah. Yeah, he has had a couple 2 TD games as well, Joby. So again, we don't need him to score. He got a 2 touchdown. Let's see. So no TDs here, but he had 5 receptions off 7 targets. I mean, if he gets us 4 targets and he hauls in even 5 points at 3.3K, we don't need much. But he's getting us 8-6, 4-8, 9-6, 5-0, right? I mean, I do like Gordon in these lineups as well. And I think you can go either way, man. Either way, you can leave more money on the table, or you can just leave 400, or you can leave 100, or whatever you want to do. You know, we said we like Joe Burrow again this week. Well, he's going to go probably heavy to Higgins and probably heavy to Chase, but CJ will be involved as he is every week. Yep, should be high. Yep, should be a high scoring game. KC and Cincy should be a shootout. Again, that's why we like Joe Burrow. More people are going to want to play Mahomes. A little bit is going to shift, though, to Joe Burrow because he had such a great week last week. Remember how we talk about people go off of how someone did the week before? So if they busted, they're not going to look to him as much. If they went off, they're going to look to him, even if the matchup is no matter what. So I think we'll just leave it at that. I will show you guys where I'm at cash lineup so far. I got to get the rest of my cash stuff in. This is my cash lineup right here, guys. Trey Lance, David Montgomery, D. Williams, Antonio Brown, Cole Beasley, Michael Pittman, Goddard, Eckler, and Bears defense. So that's my cash lineup right there. That's what I'm running for cash. That would be my cash lineup. All right, Paul. Appreciate you, buddy. Have a good day, man. Good luck. Let's win some money today. Let's win some money today. So this would be right here what I'm running for money. And this is going to get changed out because everybody's back. I built this lineup a while ago. Beginning of the week. For the news of everybody back. Davis, Booker, Herbert, Burrows. Yeah. Barrios. Lex. Duke. All right, guys. Got anything else for me? You guys got any other questions for me before I start getting ready to head over to meet up with my son and drop Zoe off and ready for our road trip to have a lineup with Stafford, Cup, Diggs, John. Nice, dude, with a ton of value. Not bad. With like a crap ton of value. All right, you guys got anything else for me? Otherwise, I'm going to get ready, get off here. Again, I appreciate everybody popping in. Appreciate everybody watching this that couldn't make it in the live. Please, please, please leave me a thumbs up. That helps tremendously with the channel, growth of the channel. And let's go out. Let's win some money today, guys. Then found cheap with B. Oh, B. Jordan is a guy. Yes. Yes. Jordan is Saber Sim. He's got Breven Jordan. Yes. You could run. So you could run Jordan. Jordan is another cheap option. You could run Jordan with the Lance. That could be a run back for you. Or you could just play him separate. But you could play him in a Lance lineup. So Breven Jordan is another guy to look at. This is just an optimized thing. See, they have Stafford at about under 9% owned, Waddle under 9% owned, Brevin under 6. Abdul is going to be low owned. He's a cheap punt play though. 46 on DK, 5 on FanDuel. So just keep that in mind. Nothing from me. Appreciate you doing this. Enjoy your trip. Hey man, I appreciate you being in here, man. I appreciate you chatting it up and interacting more. And I know you say you've been watching, but it's cool to have you in the chat, hanging out and doing your thing. So we appreciate you here, my guy. And that's gonna do it, guys. Appreciate y'all for joining. Please, again, if you haven't smashed that thumb, if you're not subscribed already, well, I don't know what you're waiting on. Do it. I'm gonna be bringing you a uploaded vlog video. That's gonna be a goal for 2022. Is still doing my same lives as I normally do, but doing at least one upload video a week or so. Kind of like vlog style, so a weekly vlog, if you will. So this one will include my trip and all the fun stuff, checking off something off my bucket list, which I'm doing tonight. So appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. Everybody take care. And we almost went 2 hours this morning, and I don't have that kind of time, but I love being here with you guys, and I love talking DFS and football and sports in general. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night on the Playmaker podcast. Join with Balls, Brady, and Nate, my man Nate. And then if anybody else wants to join us, anyone ever wants to be a part of it, let me know. You can come on the panel. You talk on stuff, if it's a sport you're not big on, don't know much, you can pass when we're doing the questions on it. It's just fun, hang out, chat, whatever. So check it out. Get your comment, get your topic, get your whatever posted on that last episode of Playmaker, and we'll pick a new winner for $30 PayPal or auction credit in the live beginning of the stream after we do our intros. So till next time, guys, I will see you soon, as I'll be hanging out in Lambeau for the game tonight out in Wisconsin. Peace.